This video is just going to go through the OWASP ZAP installer. A few people have had some issues installing this on Windows, so I thought I'd give it a shot and go through a little process for it. So I've got over here a VMware image just running Windows 11. It's a default build, there's nothing else on there, just a couple of browsers. I've got Chrome, Firefox and Edge installed. So to kick off, the first thing we need to do is we actually need to download a runtime for it. So I've already downloaded the runtime here. So if you try to use the Oracle versions or the native Java ones, there is an issue that sort of happens. So let's stick with the OpenJDK version of it at the moment. So to get that, head across to Dopium. Okay, and from there you'll just go through the normal process, find your operating system that you want to download it for. So pick whichever operating system you need. In this case, mine's Windows 64-bit. Okay, and it gives you the MSIs to install. Once you got that, okay, let's fire it up. Standard installer. There are a couple of options in here. Just make sure you do specify, set the home version and set the registry keys. So all of that is written incorrectly. Next, install. Once that's finished, if you want to check that it's working, just open up that terminal and run Java -/ version, and it should run the version. So there we are. We do have a version of it installed. So next thing, let's get the OWASPs installed. So I've downloaded this already, so I've got ZAP sitting here. Let's fire that off. So ZAP may throw an error message saying it can't locate the JRE version at the moment. So that's okay. We'll just tell it where it is. Okay. All looking good so far. Has detected it. Okay, I accept licensing agreement. Okay, standard version's enough, so let's just fire that off. Tell it to install everything in defaults. Okay, all done. Now, quickly fire up ZAP to make sure it's actually going to run for us. And then we'll move on to Docker so we can get our containers up and running and do some testing of it. Okay, it is up. Okay, firewall message as per normal, as said, default build, so we'll just accept those. Allow through private networks, as we're going to be talking to the private networks anyway. Okay, now from here, I'm basically always just say, just don't worry about remembering anything and don't remind me this. I can change it later in the settings. Okay, we'll shut that down. Okay, so now ZAP's installed. Let's get Docker up and running. So what we'll do is we'll do this simple way for Docker first. Let's just install it, and then we'll go back up and fix up any WSL issues that pop in later. So the Windows subsystem for Linux. Okay, Docker will probably take a while for us to install. Okay, here we'll accept it to use WSL. What we'll find later on is there will be an error with WSL, but we'll fix that up. So hit OK, it will go through and install Docker for us. And as I said, this will take probably about 10-15 minutes to go through the install process for it, so we'll just let it go. Okay, back now. Okay, so it has finished. It's going to ask for a restart. That's because WSL was installed. So let's close it and kick off the restart. So we are back. Log in with a super secret password. So once we get in, we'll do a quick update on WSL, make sure that's upgraded. Docker has kicked off and has come in, so let's quickly just accept the terms and conditions of that and get ready to upgrade our WSL. Okay, let's continue without signing in. We don't need to worry about this, let's skip. The first thing that's come through is it has told us we have to do the upgrade. So let's just quickly run that update. So fire off terminal as an administrator. And the update. This will take a few minutes just to finalize WSL for us. We'll upgrade the Linux kernel to the latest one, which should then allow Docker to run. Okay, that's almost done. Excellent. And as we restart here, let's just fire up Docker. So you will notice Docker normally will appear down here. So because we haven't got it fired up yet, so let's start it up. There we go, it's coming up. It'll take a few minutes to start the engine for the first time. Okay, Docker is now up and running, so we should be good with that. So the next thing we need to do is quickly do a Docker pull and pull down a container. So there are two ways we can do this. One, we can use Docker pull. The other way we can do it is we can actually go and bring down an image straight away. So the one we're looking for the lab work and testing that we need to do, one of the vulnerable ones, we're after this one here, which is a damn vulnerable web app. Let's bring that one down. So hit pull, that'll bring it back down for us. Yeah, that's the Docker command there if anyone wanted to run it separately. Okay, so while it's bringing that down, what I'll do is open up another terminal, run it as administrator just so we can choose some Docker commands. Once it is down, the command we're going to run is docker run Okay, good. So it's down. So now we can bring it up. So run this Docker command, which is basically going to set it as interactive. And we're going to port forward 80 to 80. So 80 from outside to 80 internal. And let's kick it off. Okay, again, allow it to go through the firewall. Okay, so it is running now. Okay, we just minimize Docker. We don't need that up and running at the moment. We'll just leave that down. And what we'll do is we'll go to a browser, log into the web page, because it's running on the local host. It's running on port 80, so nothing else we need to specify. Log in, bang, server is up. Log in as admin and password, which is the default for this one. Now you'll see this the first time we've logged in, so we do have a database set up. So let's fire that off, create and reset the database. So this will just go and build a new database. Once it's done that, it'll kick us out and we're in. So relog back in. And our web application is up. Okay, so leaving that container running. Let's fire up ZAP and plug it in and make sure that ZAP's going to be working. Remember, when you start ZAP up, if you get a prompt about saving settings, you can just hit continue on that. You don't have to worry about it. Okay, so we have it up in front of here. So now what we need to do is set up our environment to do our attack on our server. So the first thing we can do is we can verify that the site is there. So we do know that the site is there. So let's start by adding an authentication script first. This is the first stage. So click on the plus, add scripts, okay, authentication, right click, new script. Now give it a name, DVWA _ auth. We want it to be a scripted authentication type, scripting engine of ECM. Okay, hit save. Now we want to bring a script across, so I have grabbed a copy of the script completely. So just bring that across. So that has gone in. Want to just quickly modify this one from the default. Link will be in the description for the download. Okay, so that is correct. That is fine there. So we can close that script off. Next thing we need to do is set up our content. So we're doing it on the default content for now. So we want to add in where we're going to hit. So first thing is our example of where we're going to go. So let's take it to our local host. That's where our container is running. Good, so that one there is done. We shall go to exclude content now. In our exclude content, we shall have our login.php. We shall have our logout.php. Pop.php. Okay, last but not least, we shall have our setup.php because we don't want it to rerun the setup for us. Okay, is it done? Okay, structure terminology, authentication. We change this to script. Pick our script, hit load. The script is written correctly, it loads in. That's this script here. Now, the properties we need to put in is the login URL for our site. We need to tell it to use a user token. It's going to do a post, so we'll give it the post data that it will send through. The wildcards we have in there is what will be filled in as they go through. So now we're looking for the response to say that you've logged in and logged out. So identify a user is logged in. We look for we'd look for that. Identify that they're logged out. We look for this one. Both regular expressions. Hit OK. Double check to make sure our content is in. We can see all of our content is in here. Good. Okay, next thing, let's add a user. So we have our admin user. So let's add that in. This will be what will fill in those blank fields. We now want to force that user. It's OK. Everything else we've got in here, we don't need to touch. Hit OK. So we have our script, we have our default content. Everything looks fine at the moment. Up here, there's a little box that says force login. It's currently disabled, so click to enable that, which forces the authentication. Now we need to hit a site. So first thing we need to do, quick scan. Make sure the site is visible to the tool. So let's open localhost. Hit select. Also hit watch. We'll fire our browser. Okay, it's good. It's hit what we needed to hit, and it has logged us in, which is great. Okay, so we are getting this one. So next thing we need to do, come down here. Let's add a spider tab. So this will do our query for us. We're going to hit new, localhost default content. Let's specify the user we want it to go to and click start scan. So this will go through and scan that one. In our output, you can see authentication is successful. Our spider is running. It is getting all the information we possibly can get out of this one. It'll come back and show us how many alerts and everything we've got. Take a few minutes to do that. While it's doing that, I'll add another tab in for active scans. So you can see here the alerts are all building up on this local site. Vulnerabilities is an authenticated website, so we know that that's gone through. Everything is looking good inside here. Okay, so go to alerts. This is the alert structure at the moment. So far, we've got 24 alerts being found. Okay, so has our spider finished yet? It has got 0. It looks like it is done 100%. Okay, good. Next, what we'll do is we'll do an active scan, new active scan. I'm going to tell it to go to the same place. Okay, should not. Okay, sorry. Easier to do it up here. Attack, active scan, pre-populates everything we need to in those ones there. Give it the user we want to come in again, and hit scan. This will do a bit of a more aggressive, and it'll try to test those vulnerabilities for us. What we're looking for is to see the output of what's going to happen. So let me just bring this up to full screen. You'll see down here in the bottom right hand corner, it'll start bringing up all the stuff it's scanning, all the errors and everything that start popping up down here. All our alerts will start popping up over here on the left hand side. So we'll give that a few minutes. It'll probably take about 5 or so minutes. You can already see that they've got a critical alert pop through. So while it's scanning, let's go have a look at the alert. Path transversal. So it gives us what the error was. So it gives us the URL it tried to go to. Now what this one is doing is this one is trying to find the etc user directory or password directory. So it's done a directory transversal of /etc/password and has returned the password. So success, that one worked. So let's let our active scan go and see what comes back. Well, the scan's almost finished, so let's see how much longer we've got. Lots of many more events have popped in, which is good. Expecting a few more when I did this last time. Okay, we are done. So we have turned this amount of results so far. Okay, so let's go to check out alerts, path traversal, some application disclosure information, wildcard directives. So a few extra ones in there. We may need to do it a couple of times because the service may not have scanned everything. So we'll a couple more and see if we get anything else back. Okay, so that's found a few more, not too many, but no more new high access ones anymore. So pretty much done at this stage. It's just a matter of going through the alerts and having a look through each one and seeing what's there. Okay. Thanks for watching.